and gives him birth according to his true nature. It is subsequently his parents who make him a Jew or a Christian, two different religions, two different faiths, two different gods according to you. And had his parents been Muslim, he would have also remained a Muslim, meaning before they went off to Christianity or Islam, they were Muslims. Now the question to you is, Muhammad claimed to be the first Muslim in Mecca at the time in the Quran, but the hadith is saying everyone is born a Muslim at all times, meaning that Muhammad cannot have been the first Muslim in Mecca if there were Muslims or submission to Allah before him. So my question to you is, do we trust the Quran or what you see as being an authentic hadith?
Okay. So the hadith that you read from here, what is it trying to say?
What is it trying to say?
I need to understand. I need to understand what you understand from it. What is it trying to say?
Explain the context. I explain the context to you. He's talking about fitrah.
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 Okay.
Everyone's born a Muslim according to you.
Does it say according to everyone born a Muslim, or
So you don't believe that everyone's born a Muslim?
No.
You don't believe everyone's born a Muslim?
I haven't answered anything. I'm simply saying.
That's my question. Don't you believe everyone's born a Muslim?
For me to answer,
yes,
is what you're quoting here. I need to understand what you're saying. Does this hadith say everyone is born in a fitrah, or does it say everyone is born as a Muslim?
It says that his parents were Muslim, he would also remained a Muslim.
No. How is everyone born in the fitrah or in the Islamic disposition?
What do you mean? Islamic disposition.
What is the fitrah according to the hadith?
According to the hadith, the fitrah is everyone being born a Muslim.
No. What is
pure?
What is the fitrah?
The fitrah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Precisely. What is the fitrah?
What do you mean? What is the fitrah? What do you mean? What is the fitrah? You asked me the question.
So you don't know? I can tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fitrah is the natural, innate disposition to worship one God and accept one God.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the innate natural disposition.
Fair enough.
That's the fitrah. Everyone is born with that.
Everyone's born with submitting to Allah.
Everyone is born with that natural, innate disposition.
So they're born a Muslim. It says here, it is subsequently his parents who make him a Jew or a Christian. Had his parents been a Muslim, he would also remained a Muslim.
Okay. I need to read the Arabic of this to see how this is translated, because I know.
Get it up on your phone? I can tell you the verse.
No, why don't you bring it up on your phone?
On my phone?
Yeah.
It's on sunnah.com.
Okay? And where's the hadith? This is the...
Oh, sorry.
Okay, let's read it.
Would you like to read out in Arabic?
Okay, here. حدثنا قتيبة بن سعيد حدثنا عبد العزيز يعني الدراوردي عن العلاء عن أبيه عن أبي هريرة أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال كل إنسان تلده أمه على الفطرة وأبواه بعد يهودانه وينصرانه ويمجسانه فإن كان مسلمين فمسلم كل إنسان تلده أمه يلكزه الشيطان في حضنيه إلا مريم وابنها. Okay?
Yep.
So here, look. So as it says, these are the people who narrated this.
Yep.
And Prophet ﷺ said, every human being,
Yep.
taliduhu mother gave birth, al-fitra, in this natural disposition.
Yep.
And the parents then, they make them Jewish or Christian or Majusi. فَإِنْ كَانَ مُسْلِمَيْنِ, if the parents If the parents were Muslim,
Muslim,
then the child remains a Muslim.
remains a Muslim.
No. Because the parents are identifying the child to be a Muslim. That they call them my son
Isn't what
or
it
my
said.
son.
There's a definition of Muslim.
Listen.
And the definition of Muslim is submission to Allah.
Listen.
They will have also remained submitting to Allah.
When a child
Simple.
is identified in a Christian family,
Yes.
they don't say this child is a Muslim. Do they identify as a Muslim?
What do you mean to identify as a Muslim? We don't believe as Christians that
When
we're
a
Christians.
Jewish person, family,
Yes.
mom and dad, has a child, do they identify that child to them and their family and the community, that child is a Muslim?
So could you read the last part again? It says they would have also remained a Muslim. It doesn't say the parents would have called them a Muslim.
Because
It doesn't matter what the parents call them, it's what they are.
It's all about identifying who they are.
It doesn't say that.
Look, if
It's
there are
talking about
others,
what they are.
no, if their parents are Muslim,
Yes.
then they will call and label
It
the
doesn't
child.
say that they'll be called that.
That's what the hadith, in my understanding, indicates.
But that's not what I understand. So what do we do?
So okay, very good. When we have a misunderstanding or difference in understanding,
Yes.
you should go to a commentary of this hadith
The commentary of the hadith.
Yeah.
By who? Who makes the commentary?
by hadith scholars.
Hadith scholars.
Yeah.
But scholars have different opinions depending on which scholar you follow. What do you mean?
This is
Different scholars have
what I'm
different opinions,
saying is simple.
Akhi,
Now take your
no,
phone.
Okay, listen to me, please, just very quickly.
This hadith is narrated
Not,
in.
I don't trust the scholars. Do you know why? Because not all Sunni Muslims believe in what Yasir Qadi says.
You can
Because
believe
a lot
or
of people
trust.
condemn Yasir Qadi. He
that
said
is-
different things to what other Sunni
that's
Muslims
up
say.
to you to trust or not, right?
Yeah, so Muslims believe
Right.
different things.
So when we have a hadith in Sahih Muslim, we have commentary on Sahih Muslim.
Yeah.
So if you haven't done so, I can only suggest that you do. Go and read the commentary and see whether the commentary agrees with the understanding that I have or you have.
So basically, at this point we are where we are right now, you could be right or I could be right, but we can't both
No,
be right. There's one objective
At
truth,
this
right?
point, there's a differences in our understanding of this
In
hadith.
our understanding, because we're
Correct.
human beings, we have different understandings, we
Right.
interpret things differently.
So it is only beneficial that you go to
But
a
as a
commentary.
Muslim doing dawah, you can't tell me specifically what this actually means. You can't convince me on
Look,
the spot
look.
now what this means.
I can tell you, but you disagree like you've done, right?
Because it doesn't say that.
And when you say it doesn't say that, you're just going by the reason why. This is another principle I'm establishing here with you. Okay, whenever a text is in dispute or in question, what one should go to the original text in the original language.
So you're saying that Allah can only communicate to the people in Arabic? He says you must go to the original language.
Listen.
Allah can only communicate to the people in Arabic.
If there is a dispute over a text,
Then you must go to the original language, meaning that Allah
You
can only
should-
communicate to you perfectly in Arabic.
I don't understand what you're saying. If
Now you just understand what I'm saying. Did you hear that? I don't understand what you're saying.
No, what I'm
It's
saying is
disputes what you've told everyone in the past.
I am misunderstanding.
Akhi, please, would you like me to
I
repeat
am
myself again?
misunderstanding.
Or do you wanna
I am
hear it?
misunderstanding one thing.
Because
Suppose-
Allah can
suppose-
only speak to you in Arabic perfectly.
Suppose there is a text in the Bible.
So Allah can only
If
speak
I-
to you perfectly
if I-
in Arabic and any other language.
If I explain that to you, maybe you can help me understand it, right?
Because Allah can only speak to you in
Suppose-
Arabic and any other language.
suppose-
perfectly.
Suppose there is a.
Perfectly. He can only speak to you in Arabic and any other
Can I-
language perfectly.
If I make my point, maybe you can help me understand it, right?
Can he or can he not?
I'm trying to say something,
Right.
and in return you can help me understand it, right?
Help you understand the
Fine.
hadith?
Help me understand the issue here.
The issue here, so
Yeah.
you want to go away from the fact
see-
that Allah can only communicate to you in Arabic.
You see, we are
Allah
talking
can
about.
only communicate to you in
we are
Arabic.
talking
And
about-
Michael can communicate to all of us in different languages.
We are talking about, do you agree, a dispute
Yeah.
in understanding a particular text.
Right.
That text could be a text which is legal,
It can be.
it could be medical,
Right.
it could be theological, whatever, right?
But this is this is
Do you agree?
This is the hadith in a religion.
Right. So do you agree that when there is a dispute in such a text,
The Quran
One
says I
should-
have perfected this religion for you and completed your blessings upon you.
do you agree?
What is your understanding of that verse?
Do you agree one should?
That has perfected and completed in what language? Arabic.
Look, we can go to that. But
But you
as
don't
you can
want to, though.
no, as you can see, I have some deficiency in understanding the issue, right?
So yes,
Not you. I have a deficiency.
So what does the Quran say?
So
Speak
I'm
to the people of
trying.
the book.
I'm trying to get some help from
The
you.
Christians, right?
I'm trying to get some help from you,
Fair enough.
so you can help me understand the issue, right? Right. So you know there are Jehovah's Witness Christians.
The
They
heretics. Heretics.
use John 1:1 and say it doesn't mean Jesus
They've
is.
got a different Bible. We can trace where the Bible was changed.
Listen,
They're heretics. According to most Christians,
Jehovah's Witnesses,
heretics, yeah.
they use John 1:1
Yeah.
from the Greek.
They distort the Bible.
No, it's the same Greek language.
Same Greek language but different words. They distort the Bible. They are heretics.
No, the
Mansur,
the words-
they distort the Bible.
maybe they do, but I'm saying
I don't want to speak for
I'm
Jehovah's
saying
Witnesses.
John
I don't want to
1:1.
slander the Jehovah's Witnesses.
John-
I'm telling you they are heretics.
John 1.
They are heretics. They changed the
That's-
writings. They changed the
Look,
writings.
look.
You can trace where they were changed.
If you want to
heretics.
consider them to be heretics, you're entitled to it.
Yes.
But I'm simply
Because they
saying,
changed the words. What else can we say?
have they
if you change
changed-
the word of God, they are heretics.
have
It's
they
heresy.
changed the Greek text of John 1:1? Or do they use the same Greek text that you use?
I don't know. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
I just know
As
what they've
far
done in the
as
past.
far as I know, they use the same Greek text.
Do they?
Yes. So now you realize the point that I'm trying to understand, right? Remember, I'm trying to understand, not you. Greek, same text, is understood differently by Trinitarians and the Jehovah's Witness.
But we don't need to go to another language in order to understand it.
No, it
Like
is-
Muslims do, because you're.
What I am saying, would you
Use Arabic God.
would you agree?
Arabization.
Would you agree
phrase
that?
Arab city,
Would you
got an
agree?
Arabic name.
Listen, would you agree? When there is a dispute in understanding a text, firstly we have to go to the original.
Right.
You have no problem
According
with
to
that.
you, because your God can only
So-
communicate to you in Arabic.
Okay. Do you know there's one Bible translation in which Jesus says, "I am the living God"?
Which translation was this?
There is one translation.
Can you tell me the translation?
I can't remember. I can bring it
can't
up.
remember,
No,
can
no,
you
no, no, no,
please
no. I've just recently read. Okay.
That's interesting. It's new knowledge for me.
Right. It
Which-
says
which-
that.
Which translation?
It's not something that
I
is
don't know.
common.
Which translation?
It's not a common
It's
translation.
controversial. It's a controversial subject. Can you please lay it
Look,
out
look,
to
look,
me?
look.
I'm a Christian. I would like to know.
I am saying
Is it because you
if-
don't know?
if-
Can you please tell me the translation?
I can bring
You've
this
made
up.
a claim. Please give me the
Listen,
translation.
I can-
Akhi, give me the translation.
Okay.
Thank you. Because it's new knowledge for me. I'd rather know
What
more
I'm
about my
trying to say is this particular translation doesn't go with other translations where Jesus doesn't say, "I'm the living God." So I'm saying, when a translation says, Jesus says, "I'm the living
You've got to
God,"
know when it was written and what has been changed.
listen,
We can trace when it was changed. You
That-
can't with Arabic. You've got
this-
to go to a different
this
language.
translation-
That is the difference. You can't keep comparing.
this
I see
translation,
what you're doing, Mansur.
I am saying this
I
translation,
can see what you're saying. I can see what you're doing.
this translation is in favor of you or favor of me?
What do you mean is it in favour of you?
Whose favor is it?
Which translation?
That-
I don't know what translation you're talking
A
about. You've not
particular
shown me.
translation that I'm about to bring. Look, I'm about to
Show
bring.
me the translation.
I'm about to bring it up.
Let's get out.
Patience.
I'm patient.
Is this
I am
trans-
stubborn. Don't worry. Can you
is this translation in favor of you or favor of
I
me?
don't know. I've not heard the translation.
What did I say the translation says?
I want to
It
know.
says-
I can't take your word for it. Unless you can show me, I can't believe it.
Okay, you know what? Let's find it, okay?
Let's find it. Well done, brother. You're getting somewhere.
I am the living God, right?
Tell me the translation.
This is
Tell
what
me
Jesus says.
Because I can guarantee there are translations before that which have maintained what's dated back to the early manuscripts. I don't believe it. I believe Jehovah's Witnesses are heretics.
Oh, there's a translate. Thank you. Walking Bible, Lex. It's like God sends
Can you
divine
please-
help.
Please get to
Barakallah fi. You know, there's a translation, Ethiopic or Aramaic or something, which says, "I am the living God." There's a translation they use in a verse that he uses that he says, "I am the living God." Jesus is saying, "I am the living God," in that particular translation. Okay, he's gonna find this verse.
Aramaic.
It's an Aramaic one, correct? It's an Aramaic translation.
Aramaic one.
Aramaic. The
Do you know
translated.
what language the Bible was written in?
Which part of the Bible?
What are you talking about?
Matthew.
Are you talking about Matthew?
It's
I don't know what one you're talking about, which is why I'm asking you to bring it up.
this one.
So it's Matthew 14:27 in the Aramaic Bible.
Right.
Okay, they've translated to say Jesus is saying, "I am the living God." So this is the reference, Matthew 14:27 in the Aramaic translation to English.
The Aramaic translation.
Yeah, they're translating from the Aramaic to English, or they're translating in
The Bible
Aramaic.
wasn't written in Aramaic.
It's not an accurate translation.
We know it's not. So the point I was trying to make
The
is,
Bible is not written in Aramaic. That's just what Jesus spoke.
so the point I was trying to make is when there is a translation and it says something and there's a dispute. Did Jesus say, "I'm the living God" or not? We should go to.
You're putting the standard of the hadith to the Bible. That is not what we
Text. Any text in dispute.
What do you mean, any text?
Any text, like the hadith,
hadith?
or the Quran or the Bible, we should go to the original language, right? It's written
The
in.
original language is not Aramaic.
Whatever that language is.
But you're talking about an Aramaic translation. The original language is not Aramaic, and
So-
I'm not a Jehovah's Witness.
So they should go to the original language that it's
That's
written
why I
in.
consider them as heretics, because what they're saying is wrong.
Right. So you agree then? We should
No,
go
they're not
to.
Christians.
We should go. This is not a Jehovah's Witness translation, by the way.
You said it was Jehovah's Witnesses before this.
Not this one.
Not this one.
I was
So you're
talking
talking about
to.
something different.
I was saying John 1:1.
John 1:1.
Jehovah's Witnesses have a different understanding
Heretics, yeah.
than yours. Right. Okay. So we in principle
Can you
agree.
get that up? Can you get John 1:1 up from the Jehovah's Witnesses Bible? I've not seen it.
You can do that yourself.
What do you mean I can do it myself? Can you show me now? You've made the claim. Show me.
Nazam. John 1:1 in the Jehovah's Witness
I'm not a
translation.
Jehovah's Witness, and it dates back after all the other
The
translations.
original Greek
I'm not a
that they
Jehovah's
use. Do they use a different Greek?
Same Greek.
It's the same Greek. That's my point. So, not only that we have to go to the original language when there's a dispute, the point I'm alluding to from this example is even the same text may have differences of.
Then why is it all the other Christians managed to get the words right other than the heretics?
When
Exactly.
there is a dispute, you have to now then go to commentaries
If they're
to see
distorting the
what.
language,
They
and
didn't
just
distort the
changing
language.
the words,
They did not in that verse.
They're not in that word, in that verse.
They did not.
Because there's no
So what's the
definite
difference?
article.
So what are you trying to compare?
It's the same thing, but a different understanding.
The understanding's
Yeah.
different.
So what's the point I was trying to make? That you helped me to understand.
So how, what?
You've helped me to understand something. Thank you for that. So what was the
What the commentary?
No, what was the point that I was trying to make, which you did help me to understand?
Between what point?
Yeah.
What point did I say?
You just helped me
I
for
made loads
that.
of points.
On that point about
The fact that the
when
Bible
there's
is written in Aramaic.
when there's a dispute in a text, that we should go to not only the original, but also once we have the original, we have to understand the original from the scholarly works.
Well, it works.
Right.
But we're in
So-
agreement with our scholars.
So then you go
You're
to
not.
the scholarly works.
You have different hadiths, we have the same Bible. It's just that
Then
this
you-
heretic
then-
Bible is completely different to all of ours.
Okay. So when Abraham believed in one God,
When are we gonna get onto this?
but we have come to a stalemate here because I'm fine, thank you. When we are discussing this hadith
This hadith.
about when the child is with a Muslim parent and they remains a Muslim or they are identified as a Muslim,
Absolutely.
and you are saying your understanding
There's no
is
identification here.
is different. I am saying
It's not an
It's-
understanding, it's a fact. There's nothing talking about identification. It's saying what they were previously, and what they were previously were Muslims. That's exactly what it's saying.
yeah. So I am saying next step for you is to go into a commentary.
commentary.
Because you are not taking my explanations. So you should go to a commentary from a scholarly commentator.
May I ask, why should I go to a commentary when scholars are in disagreements with each other? Jazak Allah Khair says one thing, other scholars say another thing.
Okay.
Some scholars believe that there's holes in the
So-
narrative, other scholars believe there
So
isn't.
how do you?
Why,
Okay.
Which scholar do we believe
So
in?
basically,
According-
are you suggesting that you don't read any scholarly works on the Bible because there are differences between them?
well, the heretics have a different understanding of the Bible, yes.
And apart from the heretics,
We're in agreement.
good. So you can leave the heretical scholars.
Right.
Good. So we've established another principle. Thank you for that. You know,
You're very welcome, brother.
you're brilliant.
You're very welcome.
You are
brother.
brilliant. That's right with COVID-19, but you're brilliant. You're helping me understand a lot of things.
No problem.
So when there's a dispute, you go to the original language, original text, and then even if there's a misunderstanding or difference of understanding, we go to scholarly works on them, and we leave the heretical scholarship.
Right. And are you saying my
Yeah.
understanding is a heretical?
No, I'm not saying
you're
I'm not saying your understanding is heretical. I'm
Right.
saying we should go to scholarly works on the hadith on Muslim, commentary on Muslim.
Even though your scholars don't agree with each other.
You just established that we can leave the heretical scholars.
But how
aside.
do we do that? For Muslims. I know how we do it as Christians, but it's different.
So if a scholar says, I believe Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadian is a prophet after Prophet Muhammad, you would know according to Islam this is a heretical. Just like Jehovah's.
According to your
Yeah.
version of,
We would say
Islam,
this is heretical. But if you have a scholar, like say the scholar's name is someone Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, for example,
And is he go, and is he
and if he's agreed upon by all Muslims, and considered to be a scholar on this subject,
All Muslims, well, not all Muslims are going to believe in one
apart
scholar.
from the heretics.
Again, it doesn't work like that.
We can identify who the heretics are. Do you agree?
Depending on which sect you're from.
Can you identify in Christianity who the heretics are?
Well, if one Bible, which is written hundreds
Yeah.
of years later as a
Sure.
translation, separate from all the other Bibles, are showing agreement with
Yeah.
the manuscripts, then yes.
So you can identify. So you can identify who the heretics are.
You can't keep putting the standard of the Bible to the Quran and the Hadith.
No,
It
I am
doesn't work.
saying to understand who the heretics are, you can identify them.
But it's different in Islam and Christianity.
It may
is
be
very
different.
different.
It may be different,
Yes.
but still there are ways to identify them. The heretics
Different ways
from
to
the Orthodox
identify
one.
them. Different ways.
Fine.
To identify them.
So we apply the methodology that identifies a scholar from heretics.
So how
Scholar.
do Muslims identify them?
So when the Quran describes,
The Hadith, I'm talking about the Hadith.
when the Hadith describes something, and a heretical scholar says, "I do not believe Prophet Muhammad as the last prophet of God," then you would know that
Has
this
any
is.
scholar said that?
I'm saying that to you.
Well,
If
no
it-
scholar has ever said that, so we can't use that as an example.
Do you know the Ahmadis and the Qadianis?
So what, sorry?
The people, the group of people, they are
Right.
called Ahmadi.
Oh, the Ahmadiyya.
Ahmadiyya.